This is chapter 5, lesson number 4, repeating and terminating decimal. Uh, Terminating means the decimal, it has an end like 0.123, for example, or 0.7, it has an end. Repeating decimal, like for example, you have 0.3333333 and so on with no end, like 0.12, 12, 12, 12, and so on. These are repeating decimals. These are terminating decimals. How can we know and how can we differentiate between them? This is our lesson today. First, we need to know what are the rational numbers. Rational numbers can be written as fractions. In algebra, it's like a over b, where a and b are integers, and b is not zero, means you cannot say, for example, 2 over 0, because any number over 0 has no meaning. So the set of rational numbers contains whole numbers, and it contains integers inside, and also it contains decimals like 0.8, because 0.8 can be written as 8 over 10. It contains negative numbers as well, negative fractions, like mixed numbers, like repeated decimals, like 5.2 repeated. For example, 5.2 is like 5 and 2 over 9. So it's a mixed number, so it will be a fraction. So it is rational number. Like negative 1.4444 is like negative 1 and 4 over 9. So it's a fraction. So it is a rational number. Means rational number contains all types of numbers. So let's see how can we know if the fraction is terminating decimal or is repeated decimal. Like for example, if you take one like this, a number like this one, 0.54, 0.54, 54, 54, 54. So since 54 is repeated, we write it in this notation with bar notation. So we say 0.54 repeated. We put the sign and we say repeated or recurring. It's up to you. Say repeated, say recurring, and so. Here 0.85, only the 3 is repeated, 3333. So you put the bar for the 3 only. So once you see this bar, means this number is repeated decimal, and we repeat the digit with the bar, or the 2 digits with the bar in this case. Like for example, if you want to divide 5 by 12, 5 by 12 will give you 0.416666666, because you can find here 8, so you'll drop 0, it will give you 6, then minus, it will give you 8 again, you will drop 0, so it will give you 6, so minus, it will give you 8 again, so you put 0. So we don't do this enough 2 times, 3 times to discover that 6 is repeated, and you put 6 is repeated this way. Let's solve problems to make the idea more clear. To make the idea clearer, here we have write each fraction as a decimal, use a bar notation if necessary. Write as a decimal, use bar notation if necessary, means it could be repeated decimal and maybe it's not. Let's see. How can we do? We will use division directly على طول. So 1 over 6 means 1 divided by 6. 1 divided by 6. And you are all, mashallah, excellent in division. 1 divided by 6 is 0. So we put decimal point and we put 0. Lift decimal point up. It's 10 now. 10 divided by 6 is 1. You know, 1 by 6 is 6. Minus, this will give you 4. You are allowed to put another 0 to drop. So 40 divided by 6 will give you 6. 6 by 6 is 36, minus this will give you 4. Oh, 4, 40 again. So you put 0 to be dropped. 40 again, divide by 6 will give you 6, 6 by 6, 36 minus 4 again, put 0 and drop. So this will never end, means this number 6 will be repeated 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, and so on. So be smart and stop and say, oh, okay, this is 0 point. So the answer now is 0 0.1 and 6 repeated. See how easy the lesson is? Now let's try this one, which is 8 over 9. Let's say, for example, I want to divide 8 by 9. I'm going to do it here in another color. Yes, so this is 8 divided by 9. Of course, 8 divided by 9 is 0. So we put here decimal point and we put 0 and we lift the decimal point up. It becomes 80 now. 80 divided by 9 is 8 because 8 by 9, 72 minus will give you 8. Put 0 and drop, it's 8. It will give you 8 times 9, 72 minus will give you 8. Put 0 and drop and la 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 la. So the process will never end. The 8 will be repeated all the time. So you are going to say, oh, this is 0.8 repeated. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. We have excellent students here in grade 6A. So 0.16 repeated and 0.8 repeated. Now, 2 over 11, I'm going to do here, shabab. Let's divide 2 divided 11. So it's 0. And we put here decimal point and 0. And we lift decimal point up. So 20 divided by 11 is 1. 1 by 11 is 11. Minus will give you 9. So you can put another 0 and drop 90 divided by 11. This will give you 8 because 8 by 11 is 88. And minus this will give you 2. So another 0 and drop 20. Oh, ha ha ha. So we are going to repeat the process because we have started with 20 and 20 comes out again. So 0.18 will be repeated. Let me show you. 20 divided by 11 is 1. 1 by 11 is 11. So this will give the 9 and 90, of course, add 0 and drop, add 0 and drop, and so on. So 90 divided by 11 will give you the 8. So 8 by 11 is 88. And this will give you the 2 to be 20. And the process will never end. So the 18 is repeated. So you are going to say 0.18. And the 18 will cover uh, both 1 and 8. Means the 18 is repeated. 18, 18, 18, 18, 18, and so on. See how easy the lesson is? So again, if the number has a negative, we ignore the negative while solving. And after we solve, we put the negative back. Like this problem, for example. I need to know what is negative 5 over 6. So ignore the negative. Take normally 5 divided by 6. So it will be 0. Put here decimal point and 0. Lift decimal point up. 50 divided by 6. This will give you 7 because 7 by 6 is 42. Minus, and this will give you 8. Now, sorry, it wasn't 7, it was 8, 48. This is not 7. This is 8. And this will give you 48. And 48, 50 minus 48 will give you 2. So you add a 0 and you drop. 20 divided by 6, this will give you 3. So 3 by 6 is 18. Minus, this will give you 2. So 20 again, this will give you another 3. And 3 by 6 is 18. Minus will give you 2. So 20 again. And the process will never have an end. So the 3 is repeated, as you can see. but don't forget the negative. So you write here the negative first, then you write 0.8, and only the 3 is repeated. Don't make a mistake and make a long bar for both. This will be a mistake. Only the 3 is repeated. Now, this number, I told you, we transform this number, just leave the negative 2 and take only 1 over 6. Take only the fraction, leave the negative 2. I'm not going to do the style of the book to transform the whole fraction in the whole mixed number into a fraction. No, no, sir, not necessary. Just take the fraction, which is 1 over 6, and try to divide. Leave the whole number, negative 2, leave it. Take the fraction only. So 1 over 6. We did it before, 1 over 6, and we will do it again. Decimal point, of course, 0. Decimal point up. So 10 divided by 6 is 1, because 1 by 6 is 6, minus this will give you 4. Now it becomes 40. 40 divided by 6 is 6, because 6 by 6, 36, minus will give you 4. So it becomes 40, and the process will continue. It will give you 6. 6 by 6, 36, minus will give you 4. So it becomes 40, and the process will never have an end. So don't forget to put this whole number, because the decimal is 0.166. So forget about the 0 and put the whole number. So it will be negative 2.1, and the 6 is repeated. The lesson is very easy for all. Just use division and you will discover what is the repeated decimal. The same will happen for these problems. Let's take 7 over 9, for example. Let's take 7 over 9. So I'm going to divide now. 7 divided by 9 is 0. So 70 divided by 9 is 8. Sorry, it's let's say 7, because 7 by 9 is 63, and minus this will give you 7. So 70 again, and this will give you 7. 7 by 9 is 63, minus will give you 7. So 70 again, and the process will never have an end. So the answer is 0.7 repeated. Ignore the decimal. Divide 1. 1 divided by 33. 1 divided by 33. So we'll give you 0, 0, and decimal point, and 0 left decimal point up. 10 will give you 0 again. Put another 0. So 100 divided by 33 will give you 3. 3 by 33 is 99. 100 minus 99 is 1. So 1 will repeat the process, because 1 you are going to drop here, put 0 and drop, it will be 10. So not enough, you are going to put here 0, then put another 0, then drop, it will be 100. So it will give you another 3. 3 by 33 is 99, minus will give you 1, and we start over again. So the repeated, as you can see, is the 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, 0, 3, and so on. Don't forget the negative. So negative 0.03 is repeated, the 0 and the 3. Also for this number, ignore the negative 2 and take the fraction, only the fraction. So 5 divided by 6, so 0, decimal point, 0, decimal point. 50 divided by 6 is, like we said before, it's 8. So 8 by 6 is 48, minus will give you 2. So 20 divided by 6 is 3. 3 by 6, 18, minus will give you 2. So 20, and the 3 will be repeated, and so on. 18 minus will give you 2. So that only the 3 is repeated. So don't forget to write down the whole number, it has a negative 2, you write it here. So negative 2.8, and the 3 is repeated. See how easy? So you try to solve these problems and you will find the answers like you can see here. These are the answers so that you can solve them. Forget about number 8. We are going to check those on. So this one will give you 0.6 repeated. Of course, you simplify first, 10 over 15 like 2 over 3 and so on. And this one will be terminating, and this one 1.5 repeated, and this one 0.6 repeated, and so on. So I hope you found the lesson is easy, and any questions you can write it down in comments.